I just love making things easier on myself. The only thing now is, where am I gonna put this? I'm testing my luck here, but we're gonna see. No. You know what? I may just have to hold this. So, can you guess what this video is gonna be about? The heart chakra. Come on now. Where's my heart chakra? The heart chakra is literally the most important energy center within our body. It extends 3 to 14 feet out. Its own electromagnetic field extends out, and this is what basically forms and structures our aura. This is what gives us that magnetism, that charisma. This is where we don't chase, we attract. The heart chakra is literally the bridge between your lower self and your higher self. This is where you find balance and centeredness. Okay? This is how you form deep connections. This is how you find fulfillment within yourself, is exploring the characteristics and situations that have to do with matters of the heart. Let me take a drink. Let me take a drink. Just water. So the heart chakra is one of the most powerful chakras within your body. It signifies and is connected to the element of air. It is where the ocean and the sky meet. It is where your emotions and your thoughts come together. The heart chakra. Monks, Jesus, Buddha, many different prophets teach about the heart and about loving each other and about compassion and forgiveness and grief. Because these things are very important for us to experience if we want to be fulfilled and to feel a sense of belonging with others. Because the ego, which is our mind and our brain, which is how we function in society now, society is very ego-based. And so when you're always thinking and in your mind and always thinking with your ego, meaning you look at yourself as separate from others, you look at yourself as separate from people and their problems, you don't really have any empathy or pity for other people and their problems, and you're judging them and criticizing them for the way they decide to live their life. The heart chakra can also be associated with the color green and pink. Green being the main color of the heart chakra, and then the inner heart chamber, which is another energy within our heart chakra, is going to be symbolized by pink, a salmon color. Pink also symbolizes self-love. So when we talk about crystals that are associated with the heart chakra, you're going to look at more so green and pink colored stones. So pink calcite, rose quartz, and then green, malachite, or jade. These are stones that can help you balance the heart chakra. The heart chakra is located in the chest. It is associated with the heart, the thymus gland, which sits on top of the heart, and the lungs. When we talk about signs that you have an imbalance of your heart chakra, you may experience illnesses and ailments that are within the chest area. This is why the breast cancer ribbon is the color pink, because it is associated with the heart chakra. Now, I don't know if that's really why it's the color pink, but that's what I think is why it's the color pink. It's not a coincidence. Let's get into it. Because the heart chakra is literally courage, understanding, compassion, having the strength to actually forgive someone, having the strength to speak from your heart, to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to give and receive love freely, with no strings attached, no limitations. The heart gives from a place of not wanting anything in return. The heart is love on a whole nother level. The heart does not seek validation. The heart does not seek to belong unless it's on an authentic way. The heart wants to connect with you in an authentic way. It is deep, okay? The heart is what's going to help you manifest a fulfilled life. It's what's going to help you have relationships that are harmonious. It is going to heal you. It is going to help you be emotionally in harmony, to have harmony within your emotions. It's what's going to help us ascend from this planet. When your heart is as light as a feather. They say in Egypt that your heart is weighed on scales. I think they're the Ma'at scales. And if your heart is as light as a feather, then you have completed your lessons here on earth. So unfortunately, in society, it is so easy for us to be in our ego, to live from our ego, because we are taught that being vulnerable and having emotions and crying in front of others is awkward. We have an ugly cry. It's weak. Feeling your emotions is weak. So we're basically given a lot of shame around our emotions. We grow up in families where we don't really talk about our feelings because we're afraid to feel them, because we grew up in an emotionally volatile circumstances. So in order to control ourselves and control our emotions and to feel safe and to not be vulnerable, we don't allow ourselves to really feel our emotions. Instead of crying, we would rather be angry, because anger and sadness are the same thing. It's just that anger is being expressed from an egoic level, from your ego, and crying is the more heartfelt way, is the more deeper way, the more authentic way of actually feeling your emotions, feeling your sadness, feeling your grief, feeling your pain and your suffering. Society is very ego-based, okay? We don't forgive people, we hold resentment, we get revenge, and da 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 da. But now we are slowly but surely learning that the greatest revenge is working on ourselves. And working on ourselves has to do with feeling our emotions, doing that shadow work, feeling the grief and pain and sadness from our past so we can finally let it go and lighten the load. Because when you lighten the load, it's easier for you to go after your heart's desires. It's easier for you to accept opportunities that come your way. So let's talk about the signs that your heart chakra is imbalanced. So resentment, holding grudges, someone betrays you, someone hurts you, someone lies to you, and you find out about it. You begin to hold resentment, anger, frustration. And when you hold that inside and you don't allow yourself to release it and forgive the person that hurt you, because you realize that them hurting you is not necessarily a reflection of you. It's more so a reflection of how they feel about themselves. 9 times out of 10. It has nothing really to do with you and all to do with the hurt and pain that they really have within themselves. Another thing is when it comes to grief. But instead of feeling grief, we numb ourselves, we distract ourselves from fully being sad about losing someone in our lives, whether that's a breakup, whether that's experiencing a death of a loved one. It doesn't even feel real. basically, and that's when we start disassociating from the experience, because it's very traumatizing to realize that the person that you love, that you've known, your whole life up until now, is gone with what feels like forever. But if we start to really dive into what death means, and we look and we get out of our ego and look to what ancient texts and civilizations were teaching about death, it will help us understand death a lot better and feel a little bit more at ease on feeling the grief. Because when someone dies, you actually can connect with them on a deeper and another level. And that's when you honor your ancestors. And that is what these civilizations did. The next thing is fear. We go through life worried about what others think of us, worried about having a certain job, getting a house, getting a car, and going to school and having a degree. Now, I'm not saying these things are bad, but what I'm saying is don't let it make you a slave. Don't let it dictate your worth, because your worth is actually greater and exceeds any degree, any house, any car, any material item, or any certificate on a piece of paper, okay? It's awesome that you dedicated yourself to work towards these things, but it doesn't make you who you are. It doesn't dictate if you're a good person or not. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you may have all these things, but do you really feel at home? Do you really feel like you're working the job that is it really fulfilling you? Is it really making you happy? Do you really have the time and the energy to do the things that are going to actually fulfill your life? Slowly but surely, there's more and more of us leaving our jobs because we have figured out a way to have more freedom, so that we have more time to work on the things that actually fulfill us. We have more money to invest in ourselves and to start a business that we always wanted to start as a child. We have the knowledge and the wit to accomplish the goals that we had as children that our parents told us we couldn't have. Don't live your life for your parents. Don't live your life for your elders. Why? Because when they die, you're going to be sad that they're dead. But then you're also going to be living a life that someone else made for you. You're going to be living someone else's life. So why not accomplish your goals? Go after what you really want to do from your heart. So then when your parent dies, you'll still have that fulfillment and happiness. Of course, we're going to be sad because we're losing our loved ones. Of course, it's going to ruin everything, but why not make it easier on ourselves by living a life we actually wanted to live, and not living a life based on our ego or based on our parents' ego and trying to please them and trying to make them proud, but you're really not living a life for yourself, because they're going to be dead, and then you're going to be stuck with that life unless you decide to change it. Anyways, and then you get into the point where you start to sacrifice your own spiritual essence, your own inner deeper self. You become more disconnected from yourself because you're chasing material, you're chasing money, you're chasing this, you're chasing that. Now, I will say, some of us in our astrology chart, that is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to maybe not chase material wealth, but just figure out what success looks like to us, what self-worth and assets look like to us. It doesn't have to be what our parents say it is or what our parents expect it to be. Also, when it comes to being in relationships, we become humiliated by our partner if they cheat on us. And so then, or if our partner lies to us, or if our best friend does something behind our back or whatever. And Some people actually do forgive and do want to still be your friend or still want to make the relationship work. But then there's other people who are like embarrassed by the fact that they allowed someone to cheat on them, and they will hold that resentment. They'll hold that grudge. They won't forgive them ever. And so when you don't forgive somebody in a relationship, when you go to the next relationship, you may experience those same karmic lessons because you didn't learn from the first relationship. You didn't learn like what it was teaching you. You just played the victim and stayed in your little victim bubble. And then you took that victim bubble and plopped it in with another person. And holding that resentment and holding that energy in your heart chakra, which is going to be in your energetic auric field, is going to attract the same type of man into your life. It's going to attract the same type of friends into your life that really don't respect you. It's going to attract the same type of woman in your life that wants to use you because you didn't release that baggage before. You didn't learn the lesson before. You didn't lighten the load. You weren't able to ascend to the next level because your heart was being weighed down on the scales. And then here's another one: judgment and criticism. We have all these crazy ass expectations on people up in our mind. That is ego based, okay? Having expectations of people is ego based. Yes, it's good to have self-worth. Yes, it's good to have this and that, but like, why have expectations of people when they're just going to let you down anyway? Why allow them or give them the chance to let you down? Why not just let people be free and let people actually be who they are? Because when you're making up the scenario on who you think they should be or who you think they ought to be, you're not really loving them for who that person actually is. You're not giving them any room or space to be an actual human. You're not giving them room or space to make mistakes. And then you also don't allow yourself to make mistakes. So when you do make mistakes, it's embarrassing. It's hard for you to admit, and you want to act like you just never made any mistakes. So like, if you act like that and you basically dehumanize yourself and dehumanize others when other people are having issues and are having problems, you're going to judge them and criticize them and try to fix them and all of this. And it's all coming from the ego. It's not actually coming from the heart, okay? You're not actually holding space. You're not actually making the situation better by giving them unsolicited information or unsolicited advice, by making them feel stupid for the decisions that they made or whatever it is. So let's talk about what a balanced chakra looks like. So a balanced chakra has to do with these characteristics. You operate in the energies of love. You operate in the energies of compassion, of truth, of empathy. You are emotionally available. You have an emotional openness and vulnerability when connecting with others. You feel safe being yourself. And when you operate in these energies, you become magnetic to other people. You no longer chase, you attract. You don't chase people and their problems. You don't try to go around fixing everyone and all their issues. You are actually holding space and allowing others to work through their own mistakes. You're allowing people to actually ascend and think for themselves. You're giving people that confidence. You're giving people the space to have the confidence to solve their own problems. If someone is always relying on you, you want someone to always rely on you, they're never going to have the confidence to stand on their own. This is why when children are coddled, it's harder for them to adapt to the real world because they were never allowed to make mistakes. When you operate from your heart space, you feel connected to everyone that you encounter. Whether you talk with someone like the cash register or you talk with someone for 2 seconds, you're able to have a meaningful connection. You don't feel like you have to just fill space. You don't feel like you're not like forcing anything. You're not forcing a conversation. You're not having small talk. You're not starting off a conversation with, oh, what do you do? Like, that's very ego based. Like, that's not a real connection. That's not a real conversation. Like, why don't you ask someone what their favorite color is, or what they desire to do in life. What do they like to do outside of work? Don't just ask them, oh, where did you go to school? What did you go to school for? Because none of that really matters. Those are all labels. Those are all ego-based things that we've created and formulated for ourselves. It's not really like a deep connection you're having with someone. It's very important for us to feel grief. A lot of us, when we are in relationships and we break up with someone, or someone breaks up with us, we want to jump back into another relationship because we don't want to feel that grief. We don't want to feel that pain and that loss. Or if a family member dies, it's hard for us to, and this is okay. The grieving process is going to look different for everyone, but make sure you give yourself the space to grieve. Don't just not go through their things and just leave them in the house for years, not allowing yourself to grieve. Like, no person that has passed away wants you to keep their items. They don't want you to feel bogged down by a bunch of items just sitting up and collecting in your house. They want you to get rid of it. It's like, you got to get rid of your baggage so you can actually be happy and feel connected to them once again, because they're always with you. When people pass away, especially your loved ones, they stay in the spirit realm to help you, to guide you. They want to connect with you. They want to help you manifest and live the life that you want to live. Because when you pass away, your consciousness expands. You have a whole nother, like, your ego dissolves. That's the thing. Your ego dissolves and you're back into your heart space. You're back into your authentic self, and you understand the ways of the world. You understand the possibilities that can happen. And here on the other side, in our waking life, we don't always understand the possibilities of what can happen in the planet because of our ego. Our ego is limiting us. Our ego is keeping us small because it wants to keep us safe. Our ego does not like the unknown. Our ego does not have faith. This is where you have faith. This is where you have real faith, is in your heart. So let's talk about what happens, what you can attract when you have a balanced chakra, when you're doing the work, when you're allowing yourself to feel these feelings, to cry, to do all these things, when you're lightening the load, when you're releasing the baggage. You will attract fulfilling relationships and partnerships. You will feel like you belong. You will feel connected to others. You won't feel so alone. You won't isolate yourself from others. When every time your ego separates you and every time your ego judges someone, eventually you're going to feel alone. 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 And it is your ego that is separating you from others. When you don't allow yourself to feel compassion for others, to hold space, to feel empathy for others, to put yourself in others' shoes and what they're going through, you're going to start feeling lonely. I know this because it's happened to me before. Yes, it will be authentic love. It will be authentic attraction. It won't be anything based on any material possessions, anything based on ego, because when we try to flaunt and act like our car, our house, our money, and all this is what defines our self-worth, we're going to attract relationships that further reflect that back to us, that further make us feel like we wouldn't be shit without these things. But if we realize that we are the shit without these things, and we are worthy of love, and we are worthy of praise and grace without all of these extra things, then we're going to have and attract relationships that reflect what we really feel about ourselves. Another thing, when you're vibrating in a beautiful heart space, and your heart chakra and your heart aura and that magnetic field is extending out into the ethers and connecting with others and connecting with that person and connecting with the flowers and the trees and the bees and all of that, and you start taking action towards your goals in life, you're going to attract people that want to give you opportunities to make these goals happen. You're going to attract opportunities that give you the chance to make the shit happen. And a lot of the times, And this is me included, I've fumbled some opportunities because I've let my ego, or I've let other people's ego steer me away from my own blessings. When God gives you an opportunity, trust it. Trust that you're ready. Yeah, you may learn some lessons that reflect who you are and how you feel about yourself. But if you're working and you're aware and you're working on how you feel about yourself and you're working on your self-worth, you'll learn these quickly. You'll be cutting through all the bullshit real quick and getting to where you need to be and ascending further and further and further. So don't let the ego steer you away from these opportunities, because these opportunities that we attract are going to they may not look the way that we imagine, but God is literally giving you the easiest route to your ascension. You just have to see it. There's so many infinite possibilities and ways that we can make and manifest our dream life. You just got to have faith right here. And if you're too busy criticizing and judging and separating yourself and holding grief and pain and resentment and anger and just keeping it here, your heart, your lungs, and things in this area are going to start hardening. They're going to start hardening because there's so much tension there. You're not allowing yourself to expand. You're not allowing yourself to breathe. You have this wall up. You've built this wall up. So now everything is hardening because you're not allowing the sun to shine through. You're not allowing yourself to cry and release all this shit. There's so many different books that show how our body is, our sickness and the things that we have with issues within our body are associated with our emotional state, with our chakras. So you need to really look, if you're having issues, any type of issues at all, acne or any type of issues, you can go and see your doctor, yes, but you want to also give yourself your own medicine, and that is the medicine of love. That is the medicine of allowing yourself to release your pain. I hope this is still working. Are we still on? Yeah, we're still on. Because that is what's really going to heal you. They don't call it healing for no reason. You're literally healing yourself. You're literally getting rid of your traumas. Okay? Each organ is associated with a chakra. Each chakra is associated with a feeling, with a situation, with a traumatic experience. And a lot of the times this comes from our relationships. But we can also allow our relationships to heal us. And we can break these karmic cycles. So let's talk about ways that you can heal your heart chakra. My favorite way is heart meditation. So when you meditate, you put your hand on your heart, you give yourself deep cleansing breaths, and you think about a white light or a green light or a pink light, whatever color light comes to your mind, emanating, vibrating, illuminating right here in your heart chakra. Because when you focus your energy on your heart chakra and you focus your energy on vibrating from a loving space, it's going to get easier and easier and easier to dip into your heart chakra center whenever you're getting triggered. And when I meditate and think about my heart chakra, I will give myself the space and allow myself to feel emotions. I will begin to forgive myself while I'm crying, to be thankful for my loved one that was in my life, to forgive others that have hurt me. Okay? We've all hurt each other. We're hurting each other. Now it's time to heal each other, but we have to release this ego, because the ego is what makes us stubborn. It's what keeps us stagnant. Follow your heart. Your heart wants to expand. Your heart wants to move. Your ego wants to scare you. Your ego wants to bring up all the negative shit, all the reasons why you shouldn't follow your heart. And it's all an illusion. It's all literally an illusion, because when you follow your heart, you don't know what's going to happen. You literally don't know what's going to happen. But what's going to happen is you're going to live a life that is fulfilling, that is happiness. That's what's going to happen. So another thing is doing a full moon ritual. It doesn't have to be a full moon, but the reason why I say full moon is because when the moon is full, that is when it illuminates darkness. It illuminates things about yourself that you didn't realize were there. So it's easier to tap into your emotions, to tap into your intuition, to tap into your healing, because the moon brings about healing and emotions and intuition and illuminates the darkness. So on the full moon, get a journal. You can get a candle. Doesn't matter what color the candle is unless you want it to matter. You can get a green candle, you can get a pink one, you can get a white one, you can get a black one. They all symbolize different things. Black symbolizes protection, white symbolizes cleansing and clarity. Green symbolizes the heart and love, pink symbolizes self-love. But then it also can symbolize whatever you want it to. Okay. Anyways, light the candle, because the fire is what's going to ignite the passion. The fire is what's going to basically ignite the confidence to go through this healing process. Now, the healing process is not going to be easy. Your ego may tell you to stop, but it's literally okay to cry. What's wrong with crying? What's wrong with sadness? What's wrong with grief? We have to feel this. These are healing feelings because it allows us to release our traumas. We have to feel these things. You have to feel it to heal it. You have to release it. Anyways, write a letter to someone that hurt you. Write a letter to someone that you hurt. Write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to your inner child. And be as vulnerable as possible. Be as raw and authentic as possible. Whether you're angry, you can start off angry. A lot of the times we start off angry and then eventually we start to cry. And that's good. If you cry, it's a good sign. But if you need help with journal prompts, you can ask me or you can ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT be throwing down them journal prompts, okay? Or you can go on Pinterest and look them up, or you can just Google them. There's so many memes of beautiful journal prompts of what you can write. Another thing is affirmations. So when you're done crying and having your crying session, you need to put in some affirmations, because you need to pull yourself out of the hellhole, because you can't stay there all day. You have to, when you go into this healing, you have to remember that you're doing it to have a better life. You're doing it to be happy. You're doing it to change the timeline that you're currently in, even for that day. I remember I was so depressed, and I finally had a crying session. It was just random on a whim, and I felt amazing for 2 weeks straight. Absolutely on top of the fucking world. All because I had a little crying session with myself. A little love session. Okay? I felt amazing for 2 weeks. That was the first time I ever actually did like a ritual. And I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. But lighting candles sets the mood. Playing some music. I love like Alina Baraz and the Galimatias. I don't know what the album is called, but there's a few songs that make me just start bawling. It puts me in my heart space. Like, play some Jenny Aiko. She will definitely put you in some heart space because she's being very vulnerable in her music. You want to listen to music that's not ego-based. You don't want to listen to no one that's like, you bitches ain't shit, and like, you don't want to do that. That's ego-based. You want to listen to things that are from the heart, where someone is being vulnerable with their feelings. And you want to say affirmations like, it is safe for me to love, it's safe for me to receive love. I am worthy of love. I don't have to be alone. Like the ego says, I love being alone. I hate having to deal with people, because the ego doesn't want to grow. When you're in a relationship, you have to realize a relationship is not there to make you happy. A relationship is there to make you grow. You're there to make yourself happy. You're there to go after what your heart's desire. Say you want to be an artist. Say you wish that you could dance or whatever. The ego is going to tell you you can't draw. The ego is going to tell you you can't be an artist. The ego is going to tell you you're not that smart. Because the ego wants to keep you the same. Because it's designed to keep you safe. That's what our ego is there for. But we are safe. We really are. This is the safest we've ever been. If I was on here reading books and talking about heart chakras and all this to everybody, I would be dead. And this is why we're scared to talk about this stuff, because we get criticized, we get silenced, because the demons inside of people are not ready to hear this shit. But anyways, if you need help on affirmations, go on ChatGPT, go to Pinterest, Google it. There's so many beautiful affirmations. Or think of some from the heart. Think of some that will help you. Or you can DM me and I'll help you too. I'll help you. Not DM me, but you can email me. My email is in my link, asking for some affirmations. And I like to do affirmations based on your zodiac sign. And when I say zodiac sign, I say like, I do 13 sign astrology. So it's going to be based off of your 13 sign astrology sign. Just saying. Or it's going to be based on your 13 sign astrology sign of wherever your Chiron is. Anyways. And another thing, you can ask your heart, ask your heart what it needs from you right now. Ask your inner child what it needs from you right now. And listen. And don't judge. This is where our ego gets in the way of our intuition. Because we think that we're not psychic. Literally everyone is psychic. When you ask yourself a question, go with the first answer. Don't second guess yourself, because the ego is going to be like, that's not the right answer. No, it is the right answer. Anyways, and you can do yoga poses that like expand your chest. Expand your chest, you know what I'm saying? Yoga poses that, expand your back and your spine, and do sensual dance movements too. Like, I know when you go into a deep, dark place, it's hard to get yourself out of it. So make a playlist. Make a playlist that starts out with these sad, heartfelt songs that put you in your feelings, that remind you of your parents, that remind you of your relationship, remind you of your aunt or someone that passed away that was close to you. And then give yourself like 20 minutes. Give yourself, start slow. Give yourself maybe 30 minutes. And then after the 30 minutes, start incorporating songs that hype you up. But maybe not necessarily hype you up on an ego based, but maybe like hype you up, like make you happy, make you want to dance. And if they are some egoic songs, fuck it, put some ego songs on there. But you just want to make sure you are expanding your consciousness and expanding your heart chakra, opening it up, because that's what's going to make you magnetic. I hope this was helpful. Maybe I can make a different video. I don't know. Just let me know if there's anything I can do that could make your experience better watching my videos. Give me any topics you want me to talk about. Yeah, this is supposed to be a safe space, and this is supposed to be some real talk. We're talking real shit. And yeah, so it might be a little triggering, but the more you are capable of facing your triggers, the less you'll be triggered. The more you deep down into your heart space and connect with everybody and have connections with others and stuff like that, the less you're going to be triggered. Okay. So go out there and open your heart. Go out there and live that life. Go out there and attract them relationships, and go out there and be magnetic. I love you guys.